Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to have you back here on my channel, and if this is the first time here on this channel, I am equally excited to have you here on my channel. So welcome to the family. Today's video is going to be a part 2 where I share with us how to sew this male's native top, also known as senator, also known as native shirt. So in my previous video, I shared with us the cutting process. So this video is going to show you how to couple this up. So if you're interested in learning something like this, keep on watching and let us get straight into this video. Right here are my pieces which I already cut out in my previous video. So if you have not seen that video yet, which is the cutting process, I would advise you to go see it. I'll be leaving a link in the description box and somewhere here on the screen so that you can click it and watch it. I'll start by ironing fusible interfacing onto my back facing and my sleeve to give it more stability. So this is my back facing. Some people call it the half back, and I went ahead to mark some chalk there to indicate that that is the wrong side, and here is the fusible interfacing that I'm going to be using. I think this is called the tissue gum, so you can use any lightweight interfacing of your choice. And here is my sleeve. I'm also going to be ironing some interfacing onto it, but however I'll be adding it only to the bottom part. So when I cut out this sleeve, I left 3 inches for hemming allowance, but the interfacing that I'm going to be ironing will be 2.5 inches long. I don't want it to get to that 3 inches mark. So this is me using my chalk to indicate that this is the wrong side, because the wrong side and the right sides look similar. And this is what I have after ironing my interfacing, and I went ahead to fold it in by 1 inch. Okay, and I also folded it into 2 and ironed it so that I can have this ghetto line indicating the center of my half back. Can you see it right here? Okay, and here is my sleeve. I went ahead to iron that fusible interfacing onto the hemming allowance, as you can see. After ironing it, I went ahead to hem my sleeve. I started by folding it up by that 3 inches that I left for my hemming allowance. I ironed it and then I folded it again into 2, ironed it, alright, and then folded it back again. Alright, so this is what I have. I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section for me. Alright, so this is me just trimming out the excesses that I have, and I also went ahead to fold this my sleeve into 2 and iron it so that I can also have that middle line. Right here I have my back piece. I also went ahead to iron it out properly, and I have my ghetto line indicating the middle, and I use my chalk to also indicate the wrong part of this fabric so that I don't get confused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that facing for the back and place it underneath this my back piece so that I can trace it out. So this is me aligning it folded edge to folded edge, center back to center back, and I am going to go ahead and trace around the armhole area, the shoulder, and then the neckline. And this is what I have, guys. So I am going to open up my back piece, right, and I am going to be placing this my back facing, aka half back, onto the back like this. All right, so I'm placing it on the right side of my main back piece like so. So I'm aligning it shoulder to shoulder, neckline to neckline, armhole to armhole, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and run 2 lines of stitches. You can run one line, but I decided to run 2 lines for decorative purpose. So this is what I have. I know it's not very visible, but this is what I have. Try to make your stitches as straight and as neat as possible. So after doing that, go ahead to iron it out so that it will relax properly. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is bring my front piece, and here is my front piece. I also went ahead to iron it to get that ghetto line, that middle line, and right here from the neckline I came down by 11 inches. I just cut an interfacing that is about 11 inches and I just ironed it there for stability. And next I am rolling out a line there in the center. You see why that ghetto line is very important. From the neckline, I'm coming down by 7 inches. I want my zipper opening to be 7 inches long. Remember I told you that I am going to be using a zipper in the front instead of a placket. So on both sides of this line, I am marking out 0.25 inches. That's a quarter of an inch, and I'm going to roll it out. So by the time I am done, I have half an inch. All right, so I also came up by, let's say, half of an inch, and then I made a mark and then created like a triangle. All right, so this is a zipper that I'm going to be using, just a regular black zipper. You can use a fancy zipper depending on what you like. And I went ahead to slash that middle line and then slashed into that triangle. I'm trying to give you a close-up. All right, can you see that? Okay, so that is what I did. So if you have any question or you don't understand this part properly, please let me know in the comment section. Next, I'm going to go ahead and iron this out. So I am folding it in and ironing it out. Remember that we marked 0.25 inches on both sides, so I'm folding it in by that 0.25 inches and I am ironing it down. And then you see that triangle that I have right there, that tiny triangle, I'm also going to fold it over and iron it. You need a steam iron for this, but since I don't have a steam iron, I sprinkled water to just help it relax properly. And after ironing, you should have an opening of about half of an inch. This is me measuring it out, and I have an opening of about half of an inch. So flipping it over to the right side, it's very neat, very, very clean. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and just iron it out again properly. And next, I'm going to be fixing my zipper. So I'm going to lift my fabric up and place my zipper underneath, and I am going to align it into that opening that I have, making sure that it's well aligned. And I'll go ahead to pin it. Can you see how I pinned it down? All right, so my zipper stopper starts half an inch below my neckline. Can you see where that zipper ends like the stopper? I came down by half an inch below my neckline, and that is where my zipper stopper starts from. Next, I'm going to flip this over like so to reveal my tiny triangle. Can you see my tiny triangle? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a stitch on that tiny triangle, and after stitching it down, this is what I have. So make sure you back stitch so that it doesn't unravel. And flipping it over to the right side, this is what I have. It's very neat, guys, very clean. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'm going to make a top stitch around these folded edges, and here is what I have after making that top stitch. My camera is not doing justice to this. My camera is bad. All right, next I'll go ahead and join the shoulders, and I need you to pay very close attention to this part. All right, so here I'm just trying to show you my zipper that I cut it out, and then I used a little piece of fabric to pipe it down. So right here I have my fabrics facing each other, right sides, and I am going to pick my front and then pick my back facing, only my back facing, and then the front piece, and I'm going to align the shoulders together and pin it down. Okay, so for better understanding, I picked just the front piece and then the back facing. So after pinning it together, I need you to pay close attention to how I am going to be flipping this. So I'm going to be bringing the main back piece like so. So this is the wrong side, and then this is the right side. So I'm going to flip it in such a way that the wrong side is now facing the front. I hope this makes sense. So just pay close attention to how I'm going to flip it. After flipping it over like so, I'm going to now go ahead and pin it down. There are different ways that you can use to finish up your shoulder seams. I know personally, I know of 2 methods, but I decided to share this one with us. And if you have any questions concerning this, you can let me know. I don't mind doing a very separate video where I show it in slow motion. All right, so this is me flipping it over and pinning it down, and after doing this, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'll stitch it down by half of an inch. And after stitching it down by that half an inch, when I flip it over, you're going to see that I have a very clean finish, both on the wrong side and on the right side. Right here, guys, I am done stitching it down, and this is what it looks like. Okay, can you see how clean it is? Both on the wrong side and on the right side is going to be clean. You're not going to be seeing the seam allowance. The seam allowance is going to be sandwiched in between the facing and the back piece. And you may have a little excesses either on the neck or on the shoulder, and it doesn't matter because we're going to be trimming this off. So this is me doing the other shoulder. Remember, the front piece and the facings first, you pin it down and then you use the back piece to flip it over. And when you're doing this, when you're flipping it over, your fabric may be twisted. Don't panic, that's how it's supposed to be. All right, so I am done pinning the fabric and the facing together. So now I'm going to bring the back piece and then flip it over. All right, so when I flip it over, that the wrong side of the back fabric is supposed to be on top. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and pin it down and stitch it down and then flip it over to the right side. This is what I have, guys, and I'll go ahead to iron this flat, and then I'm going to make 2 lines of stitches just like I did for the back facing, just for decorative purposes. You may not even do this if you don't want, and this is what it looks like. So next I'm going to collapse the front onto the back, and I'm going to go ahead and iron this out. And as you can see, the front shoulder, the back shoulder rather, is encroaching into the front, and this is how it is supposed to be. This is what it is supposed to look like. And next I'm going ahead to trim out the excesses on the neckline, and as I'm trimming it out, I'm going to maintain a round shape. Okay, don't go and trim your neck out of proportion. Trim it small and make sure that it is round. So this is me measuring out the circumference of my neck, and I have about 17 inches. So by the time we pipe this neckline, it is going to be 16 inches. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold this fabric into 2. Okay, fold it into 2 so that we can go ahead and do the trimmings. Remember, in the cutting video I told you that we are going to trim this out later on. We added excess allowances, so I'm going to go ahead now and trim this out and take out those excess allowances. So this is me measuring out my shoulder, and my shoulder is 19 inches divided by 2, 9.5 inches plus ½ inch to stitch it down, and that is 10 inches. Next I am just going to come to the midpoint of this my armhole, and I'll go in by 1 inch. So with the help of these marks, I'm going to be creating my new armhole curve. So if you do it this way, it's going to give you a very clean finish. You're not going to have those excess folds that you'd normally have on some of these senator wears that you see. All right, so this is me connecting this together, and now I have my new armhole. So here I am marking out my chest measurement divided by 4, which is 10.5 inches, and then I added 1 inch for seam allowance, and I have 11.5 inches. So I'm going to be marking that same 11.5 inches all the way down here, and I am going to be ruling this, connecting these points together with the help of my straight ruler. Next I'm going to go ahead and mark out where my slit opening is going to start from. So you can mark 14 inches from your armhole, okay, your chest line. You can mark 14 inches, you can mark 14.5, you can mark 15, even 16 inches, but for this I'm going to be using 15 inches, and I connected it all together like so. So I'm connecting these points together. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my scissors and just cut around these lines. Okay, I'm cutting along these lines. After cutting, this is what I have. So here I'm just measuring out everything that I have here, and that is 11.5 inches. I added extra 1 inch to that, and I'm marking it down. So you can add extra ½ inch to that. The idea is just to have a tiny extension to help us fold this over and indicates that that is our slit opening. All right, so after cutting, this is what I have right now. I'm done trimming. I am also going to bring my sleeve and make sure that the sleeve will fit the armhole. All right, so I'm going to measure out what I have here on my armhole, and I have about, I think, 12 inches, and on my sleeve I have exactly 12 inches. Okay, here this is me being extra. I'm just aligning it on the armhole of my top to be sure that it fits. And then for my round sleeve, I'm working with a round sleeve of 14 inches divided by 2, that is 7 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and just add 1 inch for my seam allowance. For a male's outwear, your seam allowance should not exceed 1 inch. That was what I was taught. The seam allowance should not exceed 1 inch. So this is me trimming out any excesses that I have. So I'm placing this onto my second sleeve to just duplicate what I have right there. Okay. Next, I'm going to be attaching my sleeve to my armhole, and this is me making a notch on the shoulder to indicate that that's my shoulder, even though it is not necessary because I have a crease point on the shoulder already. So I am going to open this up together like so, and I'm going to be aligning the midpoint of my sleeve to the shoulder. Okay, and I'm going to start pinning from there, and I'm going to just go ahead and pin this all around. And after pinning this all around, this is what I have. I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down by 1/2 inch. And I just realized that I had not hemmed this my sleeve. Okay, it's still open, so I'm just going to go ahead and hem my sleeves and then attach it on both armholes, and this is what I have. Now I can go ahead and stitch up the side. So I'm going to be aligning this properly, right sides facing each other, and I'm going to pin this down, take it to my sewing machine, and I'm going to be stitching it down by 1 inch all the way from the top, and I'm going to be stopping exactly where my slit opening starts. I'm just going to be stopping like 1/2 inch below where that my slit opening starts. So right here I have gone ahead to stitch this down by 1 inch, and as you can see, this is what I have. Make sure that your armhole seams align, okay, as the essence of pinning. And the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open press this, take it to the overlocker and overlock the raw edges. And right here, this is it. I've gone ahead to open press all my seams and I overlocked all the raw edges. We're almost coming to the end, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and hem this my top, and I'm going to start off by hemming the sides. Okay, so after open pressing this is what you're going to have, and I'm just going to open this up at the side, and I'm going to be inserting my hemming gum there to secure it in place. All right, so if you don't have a hemming gum, you can just go ahead and stitch it down, but me, I'm going to be inserting my hemming gum first before stitching it down. It just gives me this stability. And next I'm going to go ahead and hem my top. Remember that I added 2 inches for my hemming allowance, so you can decide to fold this in once and just secure it with your hemming gum, because this is the selvage edge and it doesn't fray. Or you can decide to fold it in twice, okay, and you have like 1 inch after hemming it, and this is what I am going to be sticking with. So whatever you do for one side, you flip it to the other side and repeat the same thing for that side. And after hemming this is what I have. Can you see how clean it is? Right now I just used my hemming gum to hold it down first. So this is what I have. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to be stitching. Okay, so I'm going to be stitching by 1 inch all the way around. Okay, all the way around. So if you don't want to have a stitch, you want to have like this seamless clean finish, you can leave it at this. Just double your hemming gum and use steam iron or water to press it down properly. So this is what I have after stitching mine down. It's still looking very clean, prim and proper, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and attach my side pockets to this. So what I'm doing now is I'm just opening this up so that the side seam is facing me directly. Okay, so this is the importance of open pressing. All right, if you open press, that place is going to lay flat and proper for you. And here are my pocket pieces, and it measures 6 inches by 7 inches, and this is the measurement for an average person. I also folded this my pocket into 2 to get a crease line. Okay, I ironed it to get a crease line to indicate that that is the center, and this is going to help me fix my pocket properly. So I am going to bring this pocket and I'm going to be placing it just above my slit opening like so. And now I am aligning that crease line on the pocket to the stitch line, that's that side seam. Okay, so this is like the importance of having this ghetto line, that center line to guide you. And I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down together, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and make it top stitch. This is what my pocket looks like after attaching it. So let me know in the comment section if you want me to drop a very detailed tutorial on how to prepare your pockets. I had to rush this part because this video is already too long, and I also went ahead to pipe the neckline of this top off camera, and also attached like a pocket on the side, which I also piped. So I'm going to be dropping a very detailed tutorial on how to pipe the neckline of your senators of your native top, and I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box and somewhere on the screen. So with that being said, we have come to the end of this tutorial, guys. If you found this video helpful in any way at all, go ahead and give this video a like so that more people can get to see it. Subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. Drop your questions, your thoughts, your suggestions in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye, guys.